All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're diving into the really fascinating and honestly fast moving world of open source AI. And we're not just talking about research projects here. These are powerful tools that are seriously starting to change the entire game of financial trading.
So let's kick things off with a pretty wild question, one that's feeling less like science fiction and more like reality every single day. Could the thing managing your investments in the future not be a person, but a piece of software that you could actually help build yourself?
So, what exactly are we even talking about here? Well, at their core, these frameworks are basically toolkits that anyone can access. The Lego kit analogy is just perfect. They give you all the different building blocks you need to design, test, and then launch your very own automated trading bot, all powered by some pretty sophisticated AI. And this whole thing didn't just pop up overnight. It's just been evolving at lightning speed. If you go back to around 2015, you had platforms like Backtrader laying the groundwork. Then, bam, the crypto boom of 2018 hits, creating this huge demand for automated tools that could keep up with those crazy 24/7 markets. But the real game changer, that's been the arrival of large language models in the 2020s. That has kicked off a whole new era of smart agent-based trading. Okay, so how do these things actually work? Like, what's going on inside the AI's brain when it makes a decision? Well, let's pop the hood. It really boils down to two main flavors. And the contrast here is just fascinating. On one side, you've got your traditional machine learning, the pure number cruncher. This thing sifts through mountains of old price and volume data, just looking for statistical patterns to try and predict what's next. But then, on the other side, you have these new LLM-powered agents. Think of these as the strategists. They don't just stare at numbers, they actually read the news. They understand the sentiment on social media, they get the context. It's a huge shift from just seeing that a stock moved to trying to understand why it moved. And this is where it gets really, really cool. Instead of just one AI making the call, you have a whole team. You might have a news analyst agent that flags a breaking story, while a technical analyst agent charts the price action. And then they actually debate. They argue the pros and cons, and a decision is only made when they reach a consensus, with a risk manager agent giving the final okay before the trade is executed. It's like having a tiny digital trading firm running at the speed of light. All right, so we've got the theory down. Now let's meet some of the actual players out there, the tools that developers and traders are using right now. This gives us a great little snapshot. First up, you've got Freetrade. This thing is a beast in the crypto world. It uses that traditional machine learning approach, and it even has a module that's constantly retraining itself. Then in the middle, TradingAgents, which is the perfect example of that AI dream team we were just talking about. And finally, there's AI Trader. Think of this one like a battle arena for AIs, where they all compete against each other to see whose strategies are best. And I want to be clear, these aren't just little niche projects. I mean, just to give you an idea of how big this is, Freaktrade alone has more than 45,000 stars on GitHub. That's not just a few hobbyists. That is a massive, super active community of people who are constantly building and improving this stuff. The interest is absolutely huge. Now, where these bots trade is a huge deal. Because, let's be honest, the Wild West of crypto is a totally different universe from the buttoned-up world of Wall Street. Yeah, the difference is night and day. Crypto is volatile, it never sleeps, and it can go nuts based on a single tweet. It's the perfect playground for an AI that can analyze sentiment and react in milliseconds. The stock market, on the other hand, is much more structured. It has trading hours, tons of regulation, so the AI here has to be a bit more, well, disciplined. It's adapted to do deep dives into company earnings reports, all while making sure it stays within all the rules. Okay, but we gotta pump the brakes for a second. This isn't some magic money printing machine. As powerful as this technology is, it comes with some very real, very significant risks and challenges that you absolutely have to know about. Here are some of the biggest red flags. First, overfitting. This is a classic. It's when an AI gets so good at trading on old data that the second it hits the unpredictable live market, it just falls apart. Its predictable patterns can also be exploited by other traders. Then you have black swan events, those sudden out-of-nowhere market crashes. AIs are just not built for that kind of chaos. And finally, and this one is so important, data bias. Garbage in, garbage out, right? If the data you train the AI on is skewed, you better believe its trading decisions will be skewed too. So where is all this headed? Well, the future looks collaborative. The real innovation isn't about creating one single genius trading bot anymore. It's about building smarter systems with teams of AI agents that can reason, debate, and adapt together. And that brings us full circle, right back to that big question we started with. As these tools get more powerful and easier to access, they're not just for hedge funds anymore. They could fundamentally change how all of us think about investing. So the question is no longer if AI will play a role, but how soon your financial advice will come from a team of open source bots.